But in reality, that feeling is the very indication to keep going. It's the very indication to keep going. Remember, all growth and ascension happens outside of our zone of familiarity. Hey there, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Charyse Williams Show. So, I have a question for you. Who's really running your business? Like, really? Who's really running your business? There's an old saying that if you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting, right? And I'd like to add, if your current identity keeps making the decisions, you will continue to affirm your current identity and all the results and experiences that come along with it. Okay. Fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitations, making decisions from this place, like, and this might sound something like, what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work out? Right? Do I really know what I'm doing? Are people really going to pay me for this? Like, well, is there really people out there that's going to pay me for this? Where am I going to get clients from? Can I get enough clients to have a sustainable business? I don't know enough yet. Let me go back and get another certification or another degree, right? What if I launch my business and no one enrolls in my program, right? Remember, you guys, we're always creating that which is in alignment with what it is that we believe about ourselves. Okay. We're not going to outperform what we believe about ourselves. And so if we continue to make decisions from a place of fear, doubt, worry, lack, and limitations, guess what? That's what we continue to experience in our life. And so if you are ready to experience your next level in business, your next level in life, your next level in relationships, your next level in wealth, then what's required of us is that we evolve our self identity in such a way that allows her to lead. Now, you're probably wondering, who's her? Her is the next level you. Her is your highest self. Her is who you get to let shine so that you can experience what's been in your heart and what's been on your mind for such a long time. So the question now becomes, okay, how do I get to her? How do I get to her? Well, the good news is this. She's already there. She's already there. She's already here. Let's just sit with that for a second. She's already here. And it's not a matter of getting to her. It's a matter of allowing her to step forward. So, step one in the process is acknowledge that. Just acknowledge that. I don't have to get to her. All I have to do is allow her. All right. So, step one is acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. Step two is I want you to identify something that you're currently not taking action on in your business, right? That's aligned with your vision, that's aligned with your next. Take a second to think about that. Identify something that you're not currently taking action on in your business that's aligned with your business. That's aligned with your vision. Okay. Step three, and this is the big step. Ask yourself, what would she do? Who's the she? She is the her. What would she do? Okay. Remember, if we continue to make decisions based on where we are, guess where we get to stay? Yeah, you got it. You guessed right. Right where we are, exactly where we are. And so when we begin to make decisions based on our vision, we get to step towards and into that vision. Okay. So step four is honor the answer to the question. And the question was, what would she do? What would she do? This is a practice. This is a practice that you want to embrace. This is definitely not a one and done. I will not sit here and lie to you and say, oh yeah, once you do it once, you're good to go. No, 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 no. This is not a one and done. Why? Because we are most familiar with our current version of ourselves, right? And anytime we step into the unfamiliar, our ego, which is our current sense of self, our current sense of self says, like, oh, wait a minute, what is she doing? She's stepping out of the zone of familiarity, right? She's stepping out of our comfort zone. We don't know what's on the other side of this, right? We don't know what's over there. We only know this. And so what we tend to do, what we are used to doing is whenever we start to feel uncomfortable, whenever we start to feel that resistance, whenever we start to feel that uneasiness in our body, what we're used to doing is we retreat because we don't like to feel that feeling, right? We don't want to feel that feeling. But in reality, that feeling is the very indication to keep going. It's the very indication to keep going. Remember, all growth and ascension happens outside of our zone of familiarity. So it's going to feel uncomfortable because we're not used to that. We're not used to being over there. We're not used to asking, what would she do? We're used to staying where we are. We're used to making decisions the way we've historically made decisions, which unfortunately a lot of times it's based in fear, doubt, worry, lack, and limitation, right? So remember, all growth and ascension happens outside of our zone of familiarity. Okay. What happens is eventually, through the practice of us asking ourselves, what would she do? What would she do? Right? Our self identity evolves. And then we start to embody her. We start to embody her. And for those of you who are wondering, like, what's embodiment? Embodiment is just not as just embodiment is when you just be. You just are. You are, like, it's integrated. Whatever it is that you've been practicing, that is now integrated on a cellular level. And you don't have to think. You don't have to think about. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about being in a certain way because it is just who you are. That's embodiment. It's now kind of woven into the inner fabric of your being. Okay. It's just who you are. You are now her. Let that sink in. You get to become her. And you make decisions from a more empowered place. When you ask yourself, what would she do? What would she do? Right? You start to make decisions from a more empowered place. You begin to experience more bliss and love and certainty and confidence and connection and abundance and harmony and peace. And peace, because when you allow her to lead, she will make decisions that are congruent to those elevated emotions. Yes, it takes practice. And yes, it takes courage. Absolutely. It takes being willing to give up your old identity to a more empowered self identity that's aligned with your vision, right? But what I know is this what I know is that if you are listening to this podcast episode, if you're listening to this message, then it's time. You're ready. Otherwise, you would have either scrolled past this, this would have not even been on your radar. That's how you know. So I want you to ask yourself, what would she do? And then have the courage to honor the answer, right? You just can't ask the question, what would she do? Oh, she would do this. Okay, but I'm not gonna. We don't, that's not how we begin. That's not how we evolve our self identity. That's not how we step into our vision. We ask the question and then we have the courage to honor the answer. Okay. From there, it becomes a matter of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Remember, it's not a one and done. It is a practice. It is something that you do continuously. This is how you evolve and start to evolve your self-identity. Okay. And guess what? It begins today. It begins today. Here's the thing. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to hear it. It's like, oh, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that one day. That sounds like something good to do. And it's an entirely different thing to actually put it into action, to put what you've learned into action. So, my question to you is, who's really running your business? Who's really running your business? Okay. Will you allow her to lead, or will you continue to go about your normal way of being? It's a choice. There's no judgment either. But I guarantee you, after having listened to this episode, that will continue to ring in your brain. What would she do? What would she do? So I invite you, you guys. I really want to know the answer to that. Like, will you allow her to lead, or will you continue to go about your normal way of being? What I really want to invite you to do is hop on over into the Holistic Health and Empowerment community. I'll make sure that I put the link in the show notes. And I want you to share with me what came up for you when you asked yourself, what would she do? Because I want to celebrate with you. I want to celebrate you for honoring her. I want to celebrate you for honoring her and allowing yourself to step into the next level of you. Okay. So, with that, I cannot wait to see your comments, and I cannot wait for you to join me here next time for the Charyse Williams Show. Bye for now.